The following may contain strong opinionated views. The views and opinions expressed on this show does not necessarily reflect the views or the opinions of any social media or broadcast platform.
Hi, welcome to the Coffee Hour, a show that involves you in verbal interaction. Sports with Brian Camp. So settle in with coffee in hand and enjoy the Coffee Hour. Now here's your host, Frank Allan.
Well, here we are, Friday, TGIF. Thank God we're here. It's the end of the week and we're headed for the weekend, but we've got to get through a lot of things before we do it. So glad to have you along with us. Welcome once again. The name of the show is called The Coffee Hour. My name is Frank Allan, and we're going to be here for the whole hour. And in this hour, we got a lot of great conversation, and you're going to get involved in the show as well, because you are what makes this show tick. We thank all of you guys for being with us, especially you guys who've been around with us for so many years from the beginning of the show, and you're still sticking around. We thank you for that. Boy, it's been a week, but we'll talk more about that and a lot of other things as we go along. I want to say hello to my newer friends who may be possibly new here for the very first time. And if you are, well, let me tell you how this show works, okay? As the host of the show, I get things rolling. I'm in the prep mode right now, and therefore I can throw out any kind of topic or any kind of conversation to get us going, which we can linger on, but we don't have to linger on for the whole show. It can only be part of the show. So that's where you come in. If you want to change that and talk about anything that you want to talk about, we invite you to do so. All you have to do is use the keyboard on your computer, be it laptop, desktop, even your tablet or your telephone. Just type in whatever you want to talk about. I'll see you right there on the big screen. We'll answer all of your questions. We'll entertain all of your thoughts and ideas, because that's what the show is all about. Free exchange of ideas and of opinions. You have a lot of them. I have some, but let's put them all together and let's share them all together right here. And here we are. Yes, it is Friday, and we're going to get ready and set you up for the weekend. Now, those of you who may be at work right now, you may be at this particular time on your coffee break. And if that's the case, we invite you to stay at your desk, sip your coffee, and watch the show. Now, I know a lot of you like to linger around and run around the office and schmooze with your friends. And you do that each week, which I can understand. That's called bonding with your coworkers. But this day is Friday. We're on the air, and we want you to stay with us. All you guys who are around the water cooler, get to your computer, drink your coffee, and enjoy the show. And when your break is over, whatever that is, maybe you're allotted 15, 20-minute break or whatever it is, after it's all over, no one has to tell you to get back to your desk. It's all over now. You're already there. All you have to do is go back to work and watch the show at the same time and sip your coffee. That's what they call multitasking. So there we have it right here on the Coffee Hour. And we've got so many things to talk about today. We talked about on Talkback Live a lot of things that we only scratched the surface, and it's always best to overload yourself on a show and then save the rest for another time, particularly if it won't be current. But we're going to be talking about some of the things that we talked about last night, and then we'll talk about it today. My co-host on the show, Brian, wasn't here, but he's going to be with us today. And he's got the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. That's coming along pretty soon. And of course, later on in the program, what we have for you are those movies that we bring to you each week. Now, those movies, classic movies that I pick out from Turner Classic Movies. I go into their vault each week and pick out the ones that I think are worthwhile watching and I think that you would like. And we're going to present those to you. They're coming up later on in the program. So if you're one of those weekend people that want to relax this weekend and just take it easy and catch up on some movies, I'm going to help you out with that too. Of course, you're very resourceful, because with all of the live streaming apps they have today, whether they're free or whether they're premium, you know where to go to find your favorite shows. But I have the classic stuff that I want to present to you, and that's all coming up. Yes, it is. And it is, as I said, Friday. And it's Good Friday, as a matter of fact. It's Good Friday. So that means coming up Sunday, we have Easter Sunday. A lot of you are going to go to church and dress up in your very best. I never did understand why people would wait till Easter Sunday to buy new clothes and dress up the best. I never did understand that. But look, that's people's choices. I mean, I've done it. I've done it. But that's your choice. Anyway, we're glad to have you aboard with us. It is a coffee hour, so we want to let you know that all of the views and the opinions expressed on this show, the coffee hour, does not necessarily reflect the view or the opinions of the people on YouTube, Facebook, Zoom, or any other social media outlet or publication. So, that being said, why don't we lift our cups as we always do with the coffee in it? Lift it up high, because what would the coffee hour be without a little coffee? So excuse me while I shoot up. Orally, that is. No, that's a good cup of coffee. That is great. Yes, it is. It's April, and April, they say April showers bring May flowers or something like that. Yeah, well, this is April. And we're in the third day of April, and this is our very first show of this brand new month. And we got by April 1st, April 2nd, and those of you who celebrate, I didn't hear much of April Fools that day. I just, I don't know. Maybe it was out there and I just didn't know it. But April 1st, we passed it, and I hope that you had you got your kicks doing April Fools. Anyway, all this month, ladies and gentlemen, we have Scottish American Heritage Month all month long. We're going to be talking about that. And those of you who are the heritage of a Scottish, if you're watching in Scotland, because we're broadcasting there too, maybe you have some form of entertainment or some kind of event going on in your community, in your Scottish community, that you want to pass on to us so we can pass on to others. We would love to do that. We want to celebrate with you. It's also National Alcohol Awareness Month. Now, I have a number for the Drug and Alcohol Rehab and Detox Center. If you need any help, or if you know someone that needs help, give them a call. But when you do call them, make sure that you research these places as much as you can. Make sure that they're on the up and up. Here's the number: 866 584 7022. That's 866-584-7022. 7022. I'll repeat that again: 866-584-7022. Also, it's Parkinson's Awareness Month. And if you need any information about that, all the information you need, please give them a call. 888-965-6005. That's 888-965-6005. Make sure, again, you make sure you research it very, very carefully, all right? We want to make sure they're all on the up and up. National Child Abuse Prevention Month. Okay, now, of course, if you know anyone that's abusing a child, you want to lend a hand, a helping hand, and you want to get some information outside of all of that, here's a number for you: 800-551-3. We get that again. That's 800-551-1300. That's 800-551-1300. And Sexual Assault Awareness Month as well. You need help with that? Know anyone that's a victim of anything sexual assault? Here's a number that give them you can give it to them, or you can call yourself: 800-942-6906. That's 800-942-6906. And finally, it's National Autism Awareness Month as well. Now, all month long, we're going to be talking about all of these things. So here's the number for that. It's for the Autism Society Helpline. It's 800-328-8476. That's 800-328-8476. Give these people a call. Let them know that where you stand. And again, always find out more information, as much information about them as you can. Brian Camp is with us. Brian usually comes out of Charlotte, North Carolina, but Brian is in New York right now. How are you holding up in New York?
Not like Charlotte, I could tell you that much, but it's okay. I'm not complaining.
You're gonna
but it
be
is
here
what it
what?
is. Huh?
You're gonna be here for a while though, right?
Huh?
You're
Say
gonna be
that
here
again.
for a while. You're gonna
I'll
be
be
in New York.
here until a week from Saturday. Yeah. I
Oh,
came
okay.
down here to visit family, friends,
Yeah,
and explore a little bit.
yeah.
But
I saw
I
you
do want to
yesterday.
go to that restaurant called Cats. I want to go back. I
Oh,
haven't been down here in years.
well, Brian, if you go to Cats, I guarantee you, you won't be able to eat everything. You're gonna have to put the rest in a doggy bag. They're very generous with their meat.
I
On
know.
buy a sandwich. The sandwich is about this thick. The meat,
Yeah,
bread is here, the bread is down there, but the meat is in the middle, about that
yeah.
thick.
I
You
haven't
know.
had that since I was a teenager. Maybe my early 20s. I went to Cats. I had one of those sandwiches, and then I went to another one that's similar to that in on it was a called Carnegie Deli, which is
Deli,
across the
yeah,
street. Well, it was across the street from Carnegie Hall in
yeah,
Manhattan.
right next
Yeah,
door to Carnegie Hall. As a matter of fact, they shut that place down one time, and then they reopened it, and now they shut it down again. It no longer exists. But that was one of the good places as well, Carnegie Deli.
yes, absolutely, absolutely, yeah.
Then
But it's
my favorite is the Second Avenue Deli, which the original one was on the street, right on the street in Greenwich Village, on
okay.
the east side of Greenwich Village, Second Avenue, downtown on Second Avenue. And then they moved it. It's still called Second Avenue Deli, but guess where it is? It's on 33rd and 3rd Avenue,
Wow.
33rd Street and 3rd Avenue.
Well, back in
And it's called,
Charlotte, back in Charlotte, they had a deli called Cats. And I said, "Oh wow," because a lot of people was telling me, they got a Cats down here. So they gave me the address. I went down there. I see pictures of Walt Frazier and 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 a couple of other celebrities. So I asked the person that's in charge, I said, "Is this the same Cats that's from the one in New York?" He said,
yeah.
"No, no, no." He said, "No." I said, "No." I said, "Well, you got Walt Frazier picture on here." He said, "I know Walt Frazier personally." Oh, so when I got the sandwich there, was I highly disappointed? It wasn't, the meat wasn't like this. It was like this.
Oh,
I got the nerve to charge me $16. Disappointed. Never again will I
well,
go back there.
well,
Only in New York I
cats,
will go to.
well, cats you'll pay, I think maybe about 22 dollars, something like that. But you get a lot of meat.
Oh
You get a
yeah,
lot.
well it's probably more than that as it's probably more than that now because it's been a long time since I've been there. When I went there for the first time, the sandwich cost me like $15 back then.
Mhm.
I could imagine it might have doubled, you know.
Well, it couldn't be no more than $20.
Who
I
knows?
would say, all right, well, who knows? Well, you let me know when you go over there. You can give me a report on that. Anyway,
Okay.
thanks for joining in, everybody. That's Brian Camp. He's going to bring us sports later on. And I want to say hello to Warren, who's watching us on Facebook. I don't know if you could see him, Brian, but he's got
Yes.
69 degrees and partly cloudy over there. 69 degrees and partly cloudy, and he's going up to 82 degrees in his neck of the woods over there in North Carolina. And but Brian, the weather that you enjoy in Charlotte, you're not going to get here today. And I'm sorry.
In Mount Vernon right now, presently it's 48 degrees. The high is going up to 68. So I don't know what is it like in the city.
Well, last I looked back, it was 40. I think it was like 46 degrees, before I came on the air. But it's going to go. I don't think it's going to go higher than 47 degrees. I think that's the highest for today. We're going to talk more about that later about our weather. I will give you the local weather in New York, and this way, Brian, you'll know how to handle yourself as far as dressing is concerned because you missed the nice weather. You jumped out of the nice weather and you came into the cold over here. When you landed on the airport, it was cold. I'm pretty sure it was even colder at the airports than it was, where we are.
It was cool. It was a very brisk, cool air that,
Mhm.
it was if you stay out there long enough, you are gonna get cold and maybe freeze a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a little nippy now, but those of you who are going out in New York, you're going to keep the jackets with you for today and right throughout the weekend, as a matter of fact. But again, we'll tell you more about that later on in the program. But we're glad to have you in New York. You weren't here last night. You didn't do the show last night because you had an engagement. But you're here now. And what are your plans that you're going to be in here? I saw you yesterday. I saw you
Yeah.
yesterday. So yeah.
Yes.
But what's the rest of your plans?
The rest of the plans for today is go to a Good Friday service in the
Hmm.
evening.
Hmm.
Maybe in the afternoon. Got to take the Metro North down into the city parts, and then get back in time to watch this doubleheader of women's Final Four coming up. So I always got to make sure I got to make room for that. Everything with me is on a scheduled thing. If you see me, you see me. If you don't, that means I'm on the clock. I'm on the move. I'm always on the move. So a couple of things I'm going to do today, and after that, I'm going to come back here in Mount Vernon, watch the games, watch it on my computer, and just enjoy. It's very important that you get Wi-Fi. That's the first thing I spoke to my son. What's the name of your Wi-Fi in case if you're not here? So that's why
Yeah.
I'm on with you now. So
Yeah. Okay. Well, he's not there, obviously, huh?
yeah, no,
Well,
he's not here.
yeah. Well, yeah, it is Good Friday. And what Good Friday you have Sunday will be Easter Sunday, or as some people would like to refer to as Resurrection Sunday. It depends on who you are. Some people don't want to use the word Easter. Some people want to use the word resurrection. What do you prefer?
Um, Easter is not real. It's Easter Bunny. I mean, it's a pagan holiday to be honest with you. Growing up, we get the Easter egg hunts. We dye the boiled eggs into different colors. I actually thought it tastes better. A blue egg tastes better than a white egg, or a white egg tastes better than a red egg. So it's all a illusion. And
Yeah.
so, Resurrection Sunday is not the actual date of the rise of Jesus coming out the tomb, but we do recognize it on a religious view that this is resurrection, that he rise, and that's what I celebrate,
Yeah.
Resurrection
Uh,
Sunday.
yeah. Yeah. I'm very careful on how I present certain things to certain people with this politically and impolitically correct situation. Sometimes you may offend people. It's like when the holidays come around, when the major holidays come around, some people, and years and years back, everyone said Merry Christmas. And now you could still say Merry Christmas, but that's not it. A lot of people are not into Merry Christmas, and they would say something Happy Holiday or Happy, whatever, other than Christmas. So you got to be very careful how you talk to people. And I even when even
Mistake.
when I even when I greet people, I even watch how I say good morning or good evening. Because if you say good morning, they'll stop you and say, "What do you mean good morning?" So.
Yeah, yeah.
That's apart from the your March of the Wooden Soldiers. That's
Yeah,
I think that.
as for the holiday, Christmas, Kwanzaa, and Hanukkah,
Yeah,
um, I just say happy holidays to all.
yeah,
That
mhm,
covers everything,
everything. Yeah,
you
it
know,
does.
because
It does.
everybody's belief is different.
Yeah,
Uh, I don't say the Merry Christmas anymore. You talk about a man in a fat, heavy set man in a red suit with a beard. When I was a kid, I thought, Santa Claus came down in the housing projects. He thought he came through the incinerator. Well, we didn't have no chimney. So that's what I thought, was forced to go to bed early, took a bath early, went to bed early, didn't know
yeah,
that my mother played Santa Claus to us and everything. And it was
yeah,
just something as a kid. But as you get older, you want to really, my thinking is different, where you don't want to never lie to your children. You don't want to
yeah,
say,
yeah,
that there is a Santa Claus, because when you start lying to them at an early age,
yeah,
things get complicated, you know.
yeah. Well, it's not so much of a lie; it's so much of a game. And then as they get older, they start to realize, that guy is not real. then you could then you'll have to explain. It's just fantasy, and we all live in a fantasy world sometime, especially today. We're in a fantasy world. It's just
Yeah.
like nothing is real anymore. You don't know. Hey, that just brings me back, and that just brings me back when we say fantasy world, and when you got AI and all of these things around us. I don't know how we got to this part of the conversation, but it's all fantasy. Everything is fantasy now.
Yeah. Fantasy.
I don't
Yep.
know. Those of you who are watching, we're thanking you guys for who are coming in and checking out with us. And if you're watching and if you want to indulge in conversation with us, please feel free to do so. We'd love to have you aboard with us. Those of you who are here for the first time and you don't want to do it, we will not engage you unless, of course, you say something first. And in this way, you can keep your privacy going, which is a good thing. But those of you who are watching us, and you want to get in conversation, give us a weather forecast. It's a small one. It doesn't have to be a big thing. It can be something small like Warren just gave us, right? Something small. And then it gives us a chance to compare notes on what you have there and what we have here in New York, what they have in Charlotte, what they have in Greensboro, or anywhere that you are. The winner of this year's with the Leisman Trophy. Oh, Heisman Trophy. That's you supposed. Okay, I got it, Warren. You said you got Leisman. There's Heisman Trophy, but Brian is going to be talking about that later. You could see him, right, Brian?
I could see him, yeah,
Oh, okay. Well, Brian will
yeah.
talk to you about that later. But right now, I want to talk about the weather and show you what we have here in New York City as of now. So act accordingly. All right. The weather's not going to be tremendously bad, but it's kind of iffy. Right now, we've got cloudy skies this morning. We're becoming partly cloudy this afternoon. We'll have a high 64. Winds will be south southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. For tonight, there'll be a few clouds developing. We'll have a low of 59. Winds will be west southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Saturday, I have to always say this, it's my favorite day of the weekend. It's going to be partly cloudy skies in the morning. We'll give way to cloudy skies during the afternoon, but they don't say anything about rain. We'll have a high of 68. Winds will be west and it's going to be shifting to east southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. And Saturday night, if you're going out on the town, take the umbrella with you. It's going to be cloudy with occasional showers. We'll have a low near 45 degrees. Winds will be east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. And a chance of rain is 50%. That's 50-50. And the outlook for Sunday, that's Resurrection Sunday, Easter Sunday, whatever you prefer. If you're going out in your brand new suit, you remember, Brian, you had to buy a brand new suit.
And couldn't wait for school to resume so we could show off our new threads.
I don't know. Anyway, you don't have to buy a new suit if you're going to church and celebrate Resurrection Sunday or Easter Sunday, because, as a matter of fact, don't get one because it's going to be cloudy with periods of rain. You don't want to dampen your suit. It'll be high 64, winds west southwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour, chance of rain 70%. I didn't give you the current temperature, and I'll give you that right now. The current temperature outside in New York City is 45 degrees. So that's what we have right now. Anyway, Brian, I don't know. I could never understand because mom used to do that. They also dress in your Sunday best. It's Easter, we're going to buy you a brand new suit. I was thankful for it, though.
Of course we were.
I was
as
always
long as I had my cookies in a brown bag with the pink filling. Oh yeah, I was good. I had the bag all twisted up and squeezed it tight, make sure nobody gets it.
We're running 3 minutes late on sports, so it's your show.
Thank you. Warren was what Warren was trying to say is this year's Liesman Trophy Award winners, because we tell lies to our children about the holidays instead of telling them the true meaning of it. So instead of Heisman, he said he got it in caps lies, and the man is just in small caption. So.
Okay, I'm sorry. That never occurred to me.
Warren, give me a thumb up if I hit it right on the nose, so then I don't want to confuse anybody and everything.
That never occurred to me. It never occurred to me. Jeez, that was creative.
Yeah,
that was creative. Liesman.
Mm-hmm. Well, hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be around the world. I'm coming to you from live from Mount Vernon, New York, where it's 48 degrees, going up to 68. A little misty today, cloudy, and we make the best of it on this Holy Week as we approach the day of Good Friday. To some of you, whatever your beliefs are, this is where, thank you, Warren. And we just hope that whatever you believe in, you'll do the right thing by explaining it to our loved ones, to your loved ones as well. But in the NFL owners approved two significant changes in the league's replay review system Tuesday. One that is contingent on the NFL using replacement officials this season, and one that will take affect whether or not there is an officiating work stoppage, which basically means you don't want scab referees. What scab referees are referees that's not really not talented, but really don't know what they're doing. Just like many years ago, they had scab players. What happened to scab players, if they cross the picket line, the people that's on strike, the regular players that's on strike, they would do something to their vehicles or create a scene and everything. So this is what that they're in the mix of. Now, the NFL and the NFL Referees Association broke off collective bargain last week. As of May 31st, expiration of their contract looms. The league has already begun collecting names and college officials. They're going to they thinking about using college officials, which is ridiculously crazy, who could serve as replacements during the preseason and possibly the regular season if needed. Let's get this deal done. Let's get it done now. Let's make both sides happy because we don't want there's enough that's going on in the world. So we don't need that. Major League Baseball, the baseball players increased their potential war chests of cash and investments ahead of collective bargain to 400 million heading into 2026, 415 million, up from 284 million at the start of the 2025 season, according to the union's annual federal disclosure from filed last week. The Major League Baseball Players Association, which is their union, had 222.1 million in U.S. Treasury securities, 155.5 million in other investments, and 37.4 million in cash as of December 31st. The union executive board has withheld 100% of license money due to players for the 2024 2025 to prepare for beginning to replace the current labor contract, which expires December 1st. The money could be dispersed to players during work stoppage. As I mentioned, this is the Final Four weekend for both men's and women. We got 4 good games coming on combined. We got 2 for the women and 2 for the men. I know the one I'm going to be looking at, I'm going to be front and center is UConn versus South Carolina. So it's the Final Four. March Madness has never failed us, especially on the men's side. Women's a little bit different because you expect the top teams going to win. It only gets exciting when they're at the Final Four. The men at March Madness is from day one when you get a Cinderella team that's going to knock off one of the top teams in the country. Former WNBA and MVPs and champions Candace Parker and Elaine Dully Dawn headlined the members being inducted into the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame of the class of 2026. Parker is the only player in WNBA history who won titles with 3 different franchises, having won with the LA Sparks, the Chicago Sky, which is her hometown, and the Las Vegas Aces. She's also the only player in WNBA history to win Rookie of the Year and MVP in the same season. That was back in 2008. Rookie of the Year and MVP. So congratulations to Candace Parker. Also the list of the Hall of Famers inductees is currently Milwaukee's Bucks coach Glenn Doc Rivers, who has currently 1,191 wins, which is eighth all time, and former NBA player Amari Stoudemire. There's been some question: does he deserve to be enshrined into the Hall of Fame? A lot of people don't like this here. A lot of people do not like it. They think he was a borderline star anyway, but he will be the class. He will be in the class of 2026. The formal enshrinement ceremonies, the Hall of Fame, will be scheduled for August in Springfield, Massachusetts. Let me give you those teams again: South Carolina and Connecticut. First game on ESPN at 7. And then at 9:30 is Texas versus UCLA for the women. For the men is will be on April 4th, which is tomorrow. Illinois versus Connecticut at 6 p.m. on TBS, True TV, and HBO Max. And Michigan versus Arizona. The second game is at 8:50 TBS, True TV, and also HBO Max. Legendary golfer Tiger Woods. I don't like to talk about this, but I'm going to have to talk about Tiger Woods. He was in his third automobile crash, and not he's not in a great state of mind. He's first let me say he was in an accident, and let's say this. Thank goodness, thank God that he's still here, and thank goodness and thank God nobody else was killed. Okay, no major injuries. Um, he was looking down at his cell phone. Many of you have heard this already. He was looking down at his cell phone and changing the radio station in his SUV, which caused him to not to see a truck slowing down before his Range Rover crashed last week in Jupiter Island, Florida. Martin County Sheriff's deputy said that he wrote in an arrest affidavit that Woods was sweating profusely. If he wasn't on drugs, he was sweating. This movement was lethargic. His movement was lethargic and was slow. They interviewed him. He was suspicious of DUI, property damage, and refusal to submit a lawful test. Now I do know he does take a lot of pain medicine because he's been having bad knees, bad legs, bad back. He has many surgeries over his career. So he's not in the right frame of mind. So he's volunteering to take himself out for treatment, for help. And we just say to him, let's not beat a man down when he's down. Okay. I know all over social media, they are ripping him apart. He's alive. He didn't kill nobody. He needs help. So let's keep him in our prayers and our thoughts. What I do suggest, and a lot of people say, "Hey Tiger, you're a billionaire. Hire yourself a driver. Get yourself a driver. Let him drive you around. Okay, stay off the road. In fact, give me the keys, and I'll put the keys up. That's what you need to do. Okay. This day in sports, April. Let me see. April 3rd. I'm sorry. We're on April 3rd. Yes. 1962, American jockey Eddie Arcaro retires after 31 years of with 24,092 races. 1966, Tom Seaver signs with the Mets for a former report of $50,000 bonus. Let me see. In 1987, Chicago Cubs traded Dennis Eckersley to the Oakland A's for 3 minor leaguers. San Antonio Spurs coach Greg Popovich was ejected after an NBA record of only 63 seconds into the game. He got kicked out. He must have said the magic word, starting with some F words and fling, flop, 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 and he got kicked out. Birthdays on this day. 1928, Earl Lloyd, first African-American NBA player, was born in Alexandria, Virginia. 1936, Jerry Krause, NBA coach. Hall of Famer, was born in Cedar Bluffs, Nebraska, 1949. Lyle Alzado, NFL defensive end actor, he was the actor too for the Raiders, was born in Brooklyn, New York, 1953. Russ Francis, NFL tight end for the Patriots, was born in Seattle, Washington, 1967. Purvis Ellison, NBA forward center, was born in Savannah, Georgia, 1969. You have Rodney Hampton, NFL running back for the New York Giants, was born in Houston, Texas. And ladies and gentlemen, that is sports.
Yeah, on a wonderful New York day. Well, I usually say a wonderful day in Charlotte, but you can't say that today.
No, you can't.
Well, look, you only have a few more days before you get back there to enjoy it again. But in the meantime, you have to roll with the punches.
No, I am
Uh,
enjoying myself here in New York. The weather's different, but I am enjoying myself.
yeah, I have to be a little I guess I'm using the word impartial, or no, partial. I'll say partial because I want to talk about my Yankees. So I'm partial to the Yankees. Uh, right now they're in first place, and they're winning. They're 5-1 on the year so far. 5 win, 1 losses. Of course, the first 3 wins, as you know, was last week. I'm not going to tell you who
Yeah.
played to beat to get to 3-0. Then they went off to play the Marlins. No, not the Marlins. They're playing the Marlins today. The Marlins. How do you pronounce that?
The Florida Marlins.
Marlins. No, they're playing the
Yeah.
Marlins today. But the
Oh,
previous teams that they played, they just played. They just wrapped up. Can't
oh,
remember who they were. Anyway, they won out of their series. They won one game, and then the Yankees came back and finished it off. The second game that they played, they shut them out 5-0, and then the final game that they played with them in the series was 5-3. So they're there 5-1 on the year so far, and so they play the Marlins today. They're out in well, they're going to play in New York, I think. I believe they're playing. I think they're playing. They're playing the Marlins, but I think they moved. I think they're moving to New York. That's what I think.
they could be.
Yeah, I think they're in New York. I think this is the first day that they're playing in New York. Anyway, I just wanted you to know where the standings were for them. They're 5-1, first
It's,
place. I don't know how long they're going to be there. The season is still young. It's very young, and we'll have to see.
I mean, do we really got to talk about it? We only
Uh,
6 games into the season.
I know, I
I mean,
know.
can we
I guess
really
I'm bursting.
I mean, really? I mean, 5-1. If you want to take that and go into the weekend with that and say we're 5-1, we got a big lead. We're in first place. Okay.
I guess because
Let's just wait.
I listen. I want to enjoy it now because I don't know what's going to happen later. They did this last year and they disappointed me. So I want to allow me to soak up the moment for now.
Okay. It's
All right.
yours. Okay.
Because I don't know what's going to happen later. I got to be honest with you. They started beautifully around this time last season, and then they disappointed me. They disappointed me bad. So I'm going to talk to the Yankees. I'm looking to that camera right now, letting you guys know don't screw around with me because I'm not in the mood. And the language I can't use on the air, but I am not in the mood. So straighten up and fly right. Aaron, you know, you're the captain there. You take care of it. Talk to the guys. Talk to the guys. And that's about it.
Mhm.
Thanks for the sports, Brian. I appreciate that. I want to say hello to Mary, who's watching us on YouTube, and she wanted to say hello to you. She said hello to you, and she also wanted to remind us that it is Holy Week, and it's not just for Christians, but we're celebrating Passover as well. So there's a lot of things happening with that. And oh, by the way, Mary said enjoy your holiday, uh, as she referred to Happy Easter. So you just take it. Happy Easter to you and your family.
Thank you so much,
That,
Mary.
you know,
Very, very thoughtful.
you can't see her because she's on with us on YouTube. So I'm
Well,
reading
if
to
she
all of that.
hears me, I just say thank you so much. Thank you for your thoughtful thoughts during this here time of the year. Hope all is well with you. Hope things will continue to be well with you as well.
She not only hears you, but she sees you. See, because on YouTube they see you. It's
Okay.
not the same with Facebook. They only hear you. You
Okay.
know,
Sounds good.
but that's about it. But anyway,
Maybe maybe one day we can get Mary on here so we could say, to chat with her if she wants to.
by
Um, you
way
know,
of telephone, by way of telephone, or something like that. Oh
anything
yeah,
you
or
want
but
to do.
yeah, or yeah. That I thought about that. I did think about that, and the same thing we can do with Warren too.
Absolutely.
But we have to get the consent on that, whether they want to do that,
Absolutely.
and talk to them because they're with us each week. And yeah, that sounds like a good idea. I'll get back to you on that and let you know how that pans out. We'll do that.
Yep.
Anyway, just in case you're just joining us, it is the coffee hour. And of course, if you like to indulge in conversation, we will really would appreciate that. We'd love to hear from you because we love talking to you. We love addressing you personally because it makes the show. But if you desire just to sit back and just watch the show just like that without saying anything, that's okay too, as long as you're there. That's the most important thing. And if you could spend the rest of the hour with us, that would be great. If not, we really would appreciate any time that you can spend with us each week that we come on. Okay, so just wanted you to know that. And for all of you guys who are watching us on YouTube, take the time to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And you see it right there. It's in black border and white print. It says subscribe. And you don't have to pay a dime for it. We don't charge for anything, only a second of your time. Drag your mouse on it, click onto it, and that will do it. And that lets us know who's with us and who we can contact. It also gives you the opportunity to know that in the future, whenever we come on live and you forget about the show for some reason and you're online, the instant notification will pop up. All you have to do is click onto that instant notification and you're right there. Tell your family and friends, pass that situation on to your family and friends too, because we really would appreciate that. More the merrier. And if you're watching us on Facebook and YouTube, cut and paste the platform that you're watching us on. Okay. Just cut and paste it and send it out to your friends, and they'll see that it's coming from you. And all they have to do is click onto it. And once they click onto it, they'll be right with us and they can watch the show and conversate with us at the same time. So please do that. Please, with a cherry on top. Okay. Tony Award nomination, Tony Award nominated actress Mary Beth Hurt, known for her roles in movies such as The World According to Garp and other films, has died. The daughter of her daughter, whose name is Molly Schrader, posted it. She shared the news on Instagram last Sunday, saying that her mother died last Saturday and suffered with Alzheimer's disease. She was 79. As No Kings protests swept the nation after Robert De Niro upped the ante on his criticism on Donald Trump, and speaking with the Reverend Al Sharpton, with whom he stepped out for the No Kings event in the New York area early in the day on Saturday. De Niro said that the massive turnout gave him hope that the midterm elections would not go in favor of Trump and his Republican allies. After more than 2 decades at NBC News, Peter Alexander is stepping away from his network and closing the major chapter in his broadcast career. The Emmy Award winning journalist made the announcement during a recent on-air appearance, surprising longtime viewers. And his exit marks the end of an era for weekend audiences. But Alexander suggested that the decision comes from a deeply personal place. And he also hinted a new opportunity ahead, describing his next move is simply as something new. The legendary actress Kim Novak recently opened up about actress Sydney Sweeney, portraying her in the upcoming biopic called Scandalous. She believes that Sweeney is not the APT casting choice for this project, which chronicles the relationship between her and Sammy Davis Jr. And she thinks that Sweeney portraying the role will divert the project motive from their romance, which stems from the mutual interest to the sexual aspect of their relationship. And finally, a fundraiser has been launched as for former soap opera actress. Let me see. Her name is Aaliyah Shea. Now, Aaliyah Shea continues to undergo treatment, which is for brain cancer. The former Home and Away actress revealed her diagnosis to fans as on social media in November of 2025. Now, having been received a flood of messages from people offering to support her amid her battle with the disease, O'Shea eventually allowed her friends to launch a GoFundMe page last Thursday. Birthdays today: actress Jenny Goff is 54 today. Comedian Eddie Murphy is 65. Actor Alec Baldwin is 68. Singer Tony Orlando is 82. Singer Wayne Newton is 84. Actress Marsha Mason is 84. Singer, the late Billy Joe Royal, would have been 84. Singer, the late Philippe Wynne, who was the lead singer of the Spinners, one of the lead singers of the Spinners, would have been 85. Jazz musician Jimmy McGriff would have been 90. Actor Marlon Brando would have been 102. And singer, actress Doris Day would have been 104 years old. So we say happy birthday to all of the people who I've just mentioned who are alive and well today. Happy birthday to you and many, many more. And of course, we want to say and continue to say happy birthday to the people who are no longer with us. For you left us a great legacy that we will always remember, and we will keep acknowledging you each year your birthday come along. And those of you who may have birthdays coming up, and this is a new month, so if you have one coming up this month or anytime pretty soon, and you would like us to acknowledge that, please feel free to let us know. You can email us or phone us. I'll give you the email address first. The email address is frankallanprod@aol.com. Allan's ALLAN. Prod is PROD, which is short for Productions. frankallanprod@aol.com. That's frankallanprod@aol.com. If you prefer to call, the telephone number is 641-715-3900, extension 467134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467134. Always keep all of that information in your electronic devices, such as your computer, be it laptop or desktop, or even your tablet, or your cell phone, your smartphone, or whatever you have that you could put it in there. And if you have all of those, put it in all of them. This way, if one is not available, you have something to fall back on, and be proactive about that. So anytime at all, give us a call. You could always call us, even if you don't have a birthday, even if you just want to say hi, or you want to ask Brian a question or me a question or anything at all. Get in contact with us. The email address again is frankallanprod@aol.com. That's frankallanprod@aol.com. Telephone number once again, 641-715-3900, extension 467134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467134. Those Turner Classic Movies, I go into the vault each week. And for those of you who like those classic movies, well, let me help you out with the movies that you might want to catch up on. I have just one this week, just one from Turner Classic Movies. It goes back to 1959. It's called Some Like It Hot, starring Marilyn Monroe, Tony Curtis, and Jack Lemmon. It's on Turner Classic Movies. You can see that Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern. It's a great comedy and a little music involved as well. And of course, everyone likes Marilyn Monroe, at least all the guys do, as far as I know. Anyway, you could see that again this Saturday, 8 p.m. Now, being that that's the only movie that I have for you, the only classic movie I have for you, let me make a suggestion on Netflix. For those of you who have Netflix, and I mentioned it last week, but I think I want to do it again this week and recommend Beauty in Black. they're into the second season, and I finished watching all of them. I watched all of the episodes already, so I'm already caught up. So I suggest you do the same thing if you have Netflix, starring Crystal Stewart and Taylor Polidor. And it's a great movie. It's, of course, produced, directed, and it's owned by Tyler Perry, who we all love.
Of
And
course.
I particularly like Tyler Perry's drama more than his comedies, but that's
Me
just
too.
me.
Beauty in Black.
Yeah,
Beauty in the Black is one of his ones that I've been following on
yeah,
Netflix, and
yeah,
it's
yeah.
a very good show.
Yeah, so that's what I want people to watch because they're in their second season, and you could watch them all. They split up the second season in two, and they had first they've had 8 episodes, and now they have added another 8 episodes.
Right.
So it's final right now. I believe the way it ended is going to wind up a third season. But finish them all. If you didn't finish them all, they're right there. Beauty in Black, second season, Crystal Stewart and Taylor Polidor. And don't forget our Turner Classic Movie, Some Like It Hot from 1959 with Marilyn Monroe, Tony Curtis, and Jack Lemmon. Turner Classic Movies at Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Brian, I early mentioned about the No Kings protest, and I got to tell you, it was a lot of people that turned out all over the nation, not just the city from city to city, all over the nation. And it took place for over 3,300 locations around the 50 states. That's a lot of people.
That is a lot of people. That's a lot of people just to demonstrate this period.
Mm-hmm.
As you know, we're in a world of chaos right now. Um, Sadly to say, with our sitting president, and they don't want. I mean, the purpose of it. You tell me if I'm wrong or not. I think the purpose of this, they don't want no kind of king dictatorship where other countries have kings and rulers and dictators and everything, um, because things could go haywire and everything. So
Mm-hmm.
they want to keep our democracy the way it is. Um, Basically, what America is doing right now is two things. I mean, I think we're headed for a civil war again. But I think right now where we're headed right now is a lot of the people that do not like what's going on. We're just holding on and trying to just hold on as much as we can until this dude is out of office and everything. I don't mean to disrespect him. I do respect the office as president, but he has done nothing to help America. He's mainly helped himself, as you notice, as you've seen.
Well, that's what he's been doing. He did that for the first 4 years of his first term, and this 4 year. Well, we're coming up to the second year now. We're coming up midterm, and he's been doing that all along. That's what his presidency was all about, enriching him and his family. I mean, his sons, with the crypto and all of that stuff, and that's what he's about. So people like you, people like me, outside of the Republican Party, and even the Republican parties were betrayed. They were all betrayed, unless, of course, you were a billionaire or you're part of and even the MAGA people were betrayed. So listen, this presidency has nothing to do with this country at all. And I don't know. I keep saying you could say until I'm blue in the face, which for me is impossible. But if you talk to the MAGA people and say, "Hey, don't you get it now? Don't you get it now? Did you think that you were going to actually get that townhouse you were begging for, or you were going to get that high-paying technical job that you were looking for because you thought that this guy was going to line your pockets and make sure that your groceries was down to here where you could afford it for your family, or did you think that you were going to be able, if you were a farmer, to prosper and now you have to sell your farm because you can't afford to deal with it anymore? Did you actually think, you know?
Yeah.
But I'm talking to MAGA people now, and I don't know if it's going to make a difference
It's not
because
going to make a difference. It's not because they are locked in. This is so similar to what happened back in the 70s. It's the 70s or the 80s where what's the cult leader for Guyana who
Jim
killed
Jones,
Jim
Jim
Jones?
Jones, yeah,
Yeah. It's so much similar, except for there's a parallel to this. Jim Jones physically poisoned his followers.
hmm
This president here is poisoning his followers' minds,
hmm
and
with the
they'll do
Kool-Aid.
anything, and they'll
hmm
do anything for him. That's the
hmm
difference between the two cults. And let's be real. He is a cult. He is a cult. Okay. He doesn't care about others. He only cares about himself. He don't really care about his followers either. He's just is all about gaining what he wants.
Yeah,
And you saw the firing of what's her name, Bondi,
wow,
and
yeah, I was going to get into that. Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
So the dominoes are dropping. We're not wishing for anything tragically to happen. No, 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 no. I'm not that kind of person that would think that way. But the dominoes are falling slowly but surely.
Well, unlike you, there are a lot of people are getting a kick out of this, because it's been going on for so long. I don't want to see anybody harmed, hurt, or anything like that. Not even MAGA people I want to see harm or hurt. I don't want to see that from anyone. Uh, the only thing I want to see is justice for all. And even for MAGA people. Now, when we get the next president, hopefully, this next president won't have a mental problem. Uh, um, and before anyone says anything, you're not a doctor. Keep in mind that you don't have to be a doctor to form an opinion. You have to be a doctor to make a diagnosis. And my opinion that this guy is gone. This guy is gone up there. And that's my opinion, not a diagnosis. And until I'm proven wrong, he's he's gone. He's gone. Because look at the things that he's been doing. And you go back to Bundy. Now, the reason why, in my opinion, he fired Bundy is because he was frustrated. I mean, he was frustrated with her, but he was also frustrated from the day before when he went over to those hearings, those arguments, and he didn't hear what he wanted to hear. And his appointed justices are kind of like blowing him off now,
Yeah.
you know. And he went there, in my opinion, he went there to intimidate them.
Well,
I don't know if
yeah,
you've seen him.
yeah. I mean, we've seen it. Is that a point I get frustrated? Not frustrated. I just don't like watching the news. Is that everything? I think this is an unjust war. I was too young to know about Vietnam, but this is an unjust war. This is a war about money. It's about taking away greed. It's about oil, of course. It's with him is always about oil. It's about fattening his pockets and everything. But he's not thinking about the American people, not at all. And the thing we discussed about last week about you know being enslaved, how they voted on the three countries that voted did not think that it was slavery was a bad thing. I'm just summarizing it with the slave trade. It's just show you that Israel was the shocker to me.
Mm,
Israel, Argentina, and the United States of America. Those three
mhm,
countries
mhm,
really, and more with Israel, really after Israel dealt with the Holocaust,
mhm.
that tells you something.
Yeah, yeah. I wonder how his son-in-law feels because his son is Jewish and his daughter is Jewish. She converted. She got married to him and she converted. And I wonder how they feel now about his stance on all of this. This is. But again, I always said, if even if one of his family members came between him and what he's trying to achieve, he'd probably steamroll them, throw him
Oh,
under
yeah,
the bus,
absolutely.
because that's
Absolutely.
his thing. and Pam Bundy was thrown under the bus. But we already knew Pam Bundy was out. I don't even know why she was there in the first place, but we knew she was going to go anyway, you know. And she screwed herself because of that, because of those hearings. She
Yeah,
opened her mouth about the Epstein files that she had them on her desk. They wanted to question her about it, and she didn't have the files. And now she's subpoenaed to go to another hearing on the 14th. And I hope that they keep that subpoena open for her so she can go and testify, because now she no longer works for Trump.
exactly.
Film at 11. Brian, it's a pleasure. Always a pleasure. And you're going to be around here for the next 2 weeks in New York. I mean, for the next week too, in New York.
I'll be here. Yes, be here. Got some business to take care of. I'll tell you a story about next week about how I went from Dr. Bruce Banner to the Hulk in 30 seconds. I'll talk about that next week.
We look forward to seeing you then. Ladies and gentlemen, the rest of you guys, enjoy your weekend. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. We'll be back here next Thursday for the Talk Back Live at 8 p.m. Eastern. And Brian Camp, of course, my co-host, will be here for that. And then he'll come back here next Friday at 10 a.m. for more of the Coffee Hour. Until then, have yourself a great day, a great weekend, and we'll see you then. Take care. Bye-bye.
You've been watching The Coffee Hour with your host Frank Allan. The producer has been Al Dale. Technical assistant Dave Taylor. Research by Sandy Pierce. And I'm your announcer Donna Stenke. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time on The Coffee Hour.